Hi, future Mounties. My name is Miss Moose, and I work with students with the last names letters A through COO. We're really looking forward to having you here next year. Welcome to Rogers High School.
Hey, future Mounties. This is Coach Evert from Rogers High School, and I work with students whose last name begin with COR through HA. Hey, I look forward to meeting you guys and seeing you at the high school. Go Mounties!
Hi, I'm Shalina Smith, and welcome to RHS. If you have the last name that begins with MI through SALG, I will be your counselor next year. Can't wait to see you.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Rayburn, and the letters of my alphabet are SALI through Z.
Hi, I'm Ms. Núñez and I work with ESOL students and newcomers. Yo soy la señora Núñez y trabajo con estudiantes recién llegados al país o que están en clases de inglés como segundo idioma.
Hi, I'm Tracy Mitchell. I'm one of the counselors here at RHS. If your last name starts with HE through ME, then I'll be your counselor next year when you're a ninth grader. Today I'm going to share with you all a lot of information about choosing your classes for the ninth grade, so please watch the video and make your course selections and turn them into your middle school. Thank you. Welcome, future Mounties. Eighth graders, you are now also known as rising ninth graders, and today we're going to kick off the process of choosing your classes for high school. And so follow along on this presentation and you'll get tons and tons of information that'll help you choose your classes for the ninth grade. First of all, I want to talk to you about your resources. You're going to have two yellow pieces of paper. You're going to have a bright yellow piece of paper, and that's your information sheet. You'll get one of those every year in a different color, and that kind of has everything from this presentation summarized onto one piece of paper. Then you're going to have your light yellow course selection worksheet. This is the form that you're going to fill out and turn into your counselor, and that's how we're going to know what courses that you want to take. And then another important resource for you is the high school course catalog. It is linked below and you can find that online, and it gives a description of all the courses offered in the Rogers Public School Systems for secondary students. So we want you to join the registration Google Classroom. The classroom code is CSC437K. It's right there in red for you. And this is going to be your portal for all things related to course registration. You'll be able to find this presentation and lots of other information in this Google Classroom. I want to talk to you about what it takes to graduate. So to graduate in Rogers, you need 24 credits and they have to be in specific categories. So you're going to take 4 English classes, 4 math classes, 3 science, 3 social studies, a full credit of PE, a half credit each of health, fine art, oral comm, career and technical education, and 7 electives. When you add all that up, it equals 24. One thing you'll notice is not there is a world language. So we are often asked if you have to have 2 years of a world language to graduate high school, and in the state of Arkansas, you do not. However, in order to be a Rogers Honor Grad, it is a requirement. So we want you to go ahead and take world language if you can. Also, colleges often like to see that you've taken a world language, and you can earn a biliteracy seal. If you are fluent in both English and another language, then that's a special seal that you can get on your diploma. So you guys have your yellow forms. I want you to go ahead and write your name and ID on your sheet right now. Look at that light yellow one and put that information on there for us. It's very important that you write legibly. We need to be able to see your course request and we need to be able to read your handwriting. So use your best penmanship on this. Clearly mark your choices. We ask that you do not use a highlighter because we usually go in and highlight your course request form. Get your teacher recs. Your teachers can just initial right by the name of the course that they're recommending you for. And then you'll see the space to list your 7 choices in the boxes called course request. And the first 4 you're going to notice are English, math, science, and social studies. And then the last 3 are kind of whatever you want to fill in those spots. List all your alternates in the alternate choices box on your form. Alternates are very important at Rogers High School. We're a big school and not everybody gets their first choices. So we look at those alternates and students get their alternates all the time. So make sure that those are also courses that you're interested in taking. If you're trying out for something or applying for it, please list it for us and then sign your form. Try to have a parent sign it as well and turn it in on time. Things that we need you to make sure you do: get those teacher recs, Your teachers, remember, they're looking at what you've done all year long in their class. And so they're looking at your work ethic and your grades and trying to make the best selection for you. If you're recommended for an advanced class and you do not want to take it, that's okay. You don't have to. Let's say that you're recommended for pre-AP English 1 and you really just want to do grade level English 1 in the 7 boxes, just write grade level English 1 there for us. Let us know that you don't want the advanced course. We don't want you to ever feel overloaded or stressed out because you've taken too heavy of a load. Be sure and research your courses and don't make random picks. Be sure you choose those alternates wisely. You are making a year-long commitment when you're selecting your courses. And most importantly, turn your form in on time. Please don't make the RHS counselors make a schedule for you. So things to consider your freshman year. What do you need to graduate? Should you take advanced classes or not? How hard do you want to work as a freshman? How busy will you be outside of school? So think about things like if you're in the band or in a sport, things that take a lot of time, and don't overload yourself. What can you take that would help you for a college or future career? How motivated do you feel, and what are you good at? And as a freshman, everybody has to take 7 credit-bearing classes. Some of you all may want to take a pre-AP course, which is an advanced course, or an AP course, which is an actual college level course. If you do, please mark those on your sheets and get your teacher to approve those courses for you. Then sign the pre-AP statement on the back of the form if you're taking any pre-AP courses. These courses are designed to accelerate you and prepare you for college level courses in the future. When you're researching your classes, we ask that you read the descriptions in the course catalog, talk to your current teachers, also ask students. If you know any high school students, you can talk to them about what they're taking and which courses they've really liked. We want you to use the materials in the Google Classroom and then refer to Naviance, where you've got your student success plan and some career assessments that can help you. Some of you may already have used Naviance. If you haven't used it yet, that's okay. You will use it at Rogers High School, but it's an electronic platform that specializes in planning for college and career. So I've included the link that will take you to the login, as well as information for how you log in. It's very simple. It is your hack login, and E equals your school ID number. But things that are interesting in Naviance as far as college and career and choosing classes would be the Strength Explorer. You actually don't do that one until 10th grade, but that one's really good. There's a career cluster finder, a career interest profiler, and then your student success plan. And so that's something else that you can refer to when you're making your course selections. Everyone look at your form, and in the middle you'll see those 7 places where you write your course selections, and you'll notice that 4 of them are labeled English, Math, Science, and Social Studies. That's where you're going to list your core classes. For English, everyone has the option of English 1 or pre-AP English 1. So you just need to decide if you want the accelerated option. For math, it's a little more complicated. If you're in an 8th grade math class that is not high school credit, then you need to sign up for Algebra 1. If you're currently taking Algebra 1, we want you to sign up for pre-AP Geometry. Now, the exception to that is if you're in Algebra 1 and you're struggling, you do have the option to take grade level geometry instead of pre-AP. And also, we know there's a handful of you guys that may already be in geometry, and if that's the case, you need to sign up for pre-AP Algebra 2. Science is similar because some of you guys are in 8th grade science and some of you are in physical science. If you're in 8th grade science, please sign up for physical science. That's your first high school science. If you're already in physical science, then you need to sign up for pre-AP biology to stay on that accelerated track. However, if you are struggling in physical science, you could sign up for grade level biology. For social studies, the typical freshman course is United States history, and you have the option to take the grade level US history or the pre-AP accelerated US history. So you can sign up for one of those. However, you have a third option in social studies. So if your goal is to take as many college level courses as you can, you need to sign up for AP Human Geography in the 9th grade. That will set you on the track to take 4 AP social studies classes while you're in high school. And again, very important, but all freshmen are expected to take 4 core courses. So things that you need to graduate that are not considered really a core class, you need your semester of health, 2 semesters of PE, a semester of fine art, oral comm, and career tech, and then 7 electives, lots of elective courses. We recommend that you take some of these in the 9th grade. You can spread them out however you want to. These classes just have to be taken sometime between 9th and 12th grade, but just a little tip. Seniors who save these things are typically very unhappy that they did, and they're wishing they took other things, and a lot of times their friends are taking more fun classes, and they tend to wish that they had taken these things earlier. So ninth grade is perfect for that, ninth and 10th grade both, because you have a lot fewer options. So you might as well go ahead and be taking some of these graduation requirements, get them out of the way, and then you'll have more options for fun things later on as a junior and senior. Some classes do require tryouts or you have to apply for them. So if that's the case, do not list those as one of your 7 choices. You're going to list 7 other things, and then there's a little box and you're going to tell us what you're trying out for and what you want to substitute for that. Some classes also require prerequisites. So as you're going through that, be mindful of that and choose things that you're qualified to take, and then use your course catalog as your guide on that. Choose 7 credit-bearing classes for alternates. Again, do not choose a study hall or a TA. We will not allow freshmen to take a non-credit class. At RHS, we also have what we call freshman support classes. These are things that are designed to help you academically, and you're typically placed in these. You don't choose them on your course request form, but you're placed into these. So let's say that maybe you have struggled a bit in reading, you might be recommended for critical reading, or if you've struggled in math, you might be recommended for a math lab for Algebra 1. And then English language development, that's an ESOL course that is designed to help you do better in all of your courses. So what is a prerequisite? That's a big word, and it's a word that you might not have used before. But basically, a prerequisite is something that has to happen before something else. The easiest example that I can give you is that you have to take Algebra 1 before you take Algebra 2. That makes perfect sense, right? You couldn't jump into Algebra 2 and expect to do well. Well, some of the other elective courses have prerequisites as well, and lots of core classes have prerequisites. Those are designed so that you can be successful. So you have to take something first before you're ready to take the more advanced class. On your electives, I want you to look at each block and you'll see typically the first course in each category, and that's your prerequisite. So in agriculture, for example, it's Survey of Agriculture. That's the first class that you take, and then you can take anything else in that list. For business, it's Survey of Business. For computer science, it's Programming and Coding 1 and 2. For family and consumer science, it's the Family and Consumer Science course. For healthcare, it's Foundations of Healthcare, and so on. So you take the prerequisite, and then after that, you're qualified to take lots of other options. What's new this year? Well, we have 6 new classes, but they aren't all available to you guys as freshmen. So you'll see that Foundations of Sports Medicine is big and bold and bright. That's because it's the only one you can take as a freshman. That class does not have any prerequisites, and anyone can sign up for that. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and pick that as a class. The other new options, technical math for college and career, that's a junior and senior level math. Capstone is a senior elective. Fashion and interior design, if that's something that you like, that's something that if you take family and consumer sciences this year in the 9th grade, then you can take fashion and interior design in the 10th grade. And then if you really like it, you could take advanced fashion and interior design after that. Foundations of Teaching is the last one. Same thing, if you take family consumer science in 9th grade, then you could take Foundations of Teaching in the 10th grade. This list, I'm definitely not going to read to you all, but if you are trying out for a sport or you're wanting to be in performing arts such as band, choir, and orchestra, these are your contacts. So again, we cannot just put you in a sport. It doesn't work that way. I don't know if you can play soccer or not. You have to try out for those things. But if you need to contact a coach, you'll have this list. You can go through and contact that coach and find out about tryouts. With performing arts, those teachers will place you according to your skill set. And you can go ahead and sign up for orchestra, band, and choir. Anybody can sign up for choir. If you have played an instrument in the 8th grade, then you can also sign up for band and orchestra without an audition. So if you are trying out for something, that's great. We want you to be really involved at RHS. Here's how it's going to work. If you look at your 7 classes, you can pick anything but that class that you're trying out for. So I use basketball as an example here. So I want to play basketball, but I can't list it. So I'm going to pick 7 other things. So I picked English 1, Algebra 1, Physical Science, US History, Spanish 1, Debate 1, and Art 1. Then I'm going to look at the box that says that I'm trying out for. So I'm going to write, I'm trying out for basketball, and if I make it, I want to drop art. That will tell the counselor how to swap that out if you are successful. Scheduling do's and don'ts. Most of these do's have been mentioned. Pick 7 classes, pick 4 alternates, get your teacher recs, choose courses wisely, be sure to do your research, consider careers, and turn your form in on time. But let's go over the don'ts. These are important as well. Don't make your counselor pick all your classes for you. We won't like that, but we do have to do it. So make sure you turn your form in on time so we don't have to. Don't pick classes just because your friend is. Don't leave the alternates blank. Don't forget to turn your form in. Don't miss important deadlines, and don't sign up for more than you can handle. Some of you guys may not be in person in your building. I know at the high school we've got a lot of kids that are out for all kinds of reasons. If you're not in person, then watch for an email from your RHS counselor. So what we'll do is we'll go through and schedule with everybody that we can who's in building. We'll get the forms from your middle school counselors. We'll see who turned them in. And then for anybody that did not turn in their forms in person, we'll send you an email asking you to fill out your form. But ultimately, if we don't get anything, we do have to select classes for you. So it's very important that you check your RPS 30, or better yet, that you make sure that you get that form to your middle school counselor so they can pass it on to the high school. We will have a Zoom meeting for parents. It's going to be on Tuesday, March 16th at 6 p.m. Some of the information is still to be determined, so you'll get more information about that later. Right now, the plan is that there's 6 counselors. All 6 of us will Zoom at the same time with our prospective students. So for example, I have students whose last names is HE through ME. I will have a Zoom for all the kids that would come and be in my caseload, and the same for each of the other counselors. But stay tuned for more information about our parent Zooms. Important dates that we need you to know. March 12th, that's what we're doing right now. That's your Rising Freshman Information Session. March 16th is that Zoom meeting for parents and students. March 15th through 18th is your deadline for turning in your course requests to your middle school. So you can get those to your middle school counselor or whatever they've instructed you to do. Make sure you get those forms in. March 18th is the final day for them to get the forms over to the high school. March 22nd is spring break, yay. And March 31st is the final day to make changes to your 21-22 request. So if you've turned your form in and it's already come to the high school and you've decided that you want to do something different, you have until March 31st to make that change. And your middle school counselors have a little request change form. They can give you that form. You can have a parent sign it. They will send it to the high school for you, and we can make that correction for you. After March 31st, we will only make schedule corrections. At the high school, we are not able to change things just because you change your mind over the summer. So again, really take your course selection seriously because you only have until March 31st to make any kind of changes. Final notes, things to think about, just double check that you have your teacher recommendations, 7 classes and 4 alternates. Remember that alternates do get used. Be aware of the credits that you have and those you still need for graduation. And just remember, don't overstress this. Anything that you take in the 9th grade is going to count towards your high school graduation. Sign your name and try to get a parent signature, but please turn your form in no matter what. Attend the parent and Zoom meeting if you can. If you're unable to, if you work at night or something, please don't overstress that. That's okay. You can access all this information in the Google Classroom. And then remember that course selections are final on March 31st, and after that we'll make corrections and not changes. And then remember, it's so important that you turn your course request form into your middle school counselor, because if you do not, then the RHS counselors have to make a schedule for you. So at the high school, we use Remind as our primary method of communication. So we know that some of you guys don't have phones, but if you do have a phone, we want you to go ahead and join Remind. So we've got your course codes here, and what you do is you text 81010, and then you text that course code, which is at Moose25 or at Eford25, etc. So you figure out who's going to be your counselor. Again, if your last name is HE through ME, that's me, Miss Mitchell. My code is at Mitch25. And you text that, and that will allow you to join the Remind class. And then we send out reminds all throughout the year with important information. We'll even start sending them out this spring things like deadlines, like don't forget to turn in your course request forms, things like that. We do ask that this be for students only because we have class size limits. We don't get to have as many people on as we would like, so we have to limit it to students only. Parents, we ask that you follow us on social media, and that's listed here. We have both a Facebook and an Instagram. And then again, everybody join not only the course registration Google Classroom, but also the Class of 2025 Google Classroom. Parents, there is a way for you to get on that and get updates from Google Classroom. So the Class of 2025 code is EV5REN4. So I know that's a lot, but go ahead and get plugged in, and then you'll be able to follow these same things for 4 years while you're at RHS. And then for counselor emails, they're listed here. You can always email us with any questions that you have. And we want to thank you guys, and we look forward to meeting you. Can't wait to have you guys at RHS as Mounties.